Alrighty, y'all. Good eye on. Taking a look at the greatest moments in Australian history. I think this is going to be awesome, right? I mean, this has to spawn some awesomeness. Pretty much everything you can think of when it comes to posts and videos from Australia are usually, really fun and funny, or they could be terrifying, dealing with big, crazy animals. It could be awesomeness, when it comes to Aussie ability with stunts, Aussie pride, Aussie cars, doing skids. I'm all here for it. I think this is going to be fun. This comes to a channel called IWrocker Hunt. No. Look. Yeah, I like that name. I actually like that name a lot. I'm going to insta tap that subscribe button real quick. If I read that too quick, unfortunately, YouTube will do one of these bits right there, like they do all the time. But if you didn't already get, that is a legendary, and I mean legendary name, Mr. Hunt. Let's see. This will be linked down below. Make sure to check him out. He's almost at 100K, I saw, also. Damn close. Let's go. I remember this one. Hey, is that an AU? I recognized a couple of these. Ooh, look at that Patrol. Another awesome machine we missed out on here in the US. Isn't that just typical, right? God, this has got to be 80s too, right? I am a freak. I'll say it. I would take this over a Lamborghini. That is sexy. Just instant round of applause. That is a beautiful machine. Love it. Go anywhere in that bad boy too. See, there's a Lamborghini. I take the Nissan. Sorry. Oh, this is going to be good, I think.
You may be wondering why I'm doing a part 2 to the video I just made. And there's 2 simple answers to that question.
I think I missed part 1.
The first one being that while I was editing that last video, I realized that I'd left out many important moments. And the second reason being that in classical YouTube fashion, if I break it up into 2 parts, I can milk it for more views.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough waffle. So without further ado,
classic
we'll
YouTuber trick.
Our first great moment in Australian history. And that is Fried Crocodile. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't there when this happened, so I don't know the full story. But what I have heard is that this crocodile right here was trying to get into this Darwin pub. Rumour has it that while he was out the front, he was causing quite the commotion.
Holy.
The straw that broke the camel's back was when he shouted out to the bartender, "Bring me one ice-cold King Brown and make it snappy." In response to this horrible dad joke, the bartender came out with a frying pan and told him to get lost because...
Hey, someone comes out with a frying pan in hand and they don't have a smile on their face, y'all better run. Someone is going down.
You won't like how this is going to pan out. You see, this saltwater crocodile wasn't happy that he just got beaten in a dad joke off. So the crocodile decided to square up, and so did the bartender.
Damn, I can't believe that thing went for the instant jaw wide open. I mean, how freaking scary. But you know what? It doesn't even phase. It doesn't even fade the Aussie. How? What is it that you guys are just built different, man? Not even phase. He is swinging right at him. He's like, you know what? Come at me, bro.
And after a few hits with a freshly greased frying pan, the crocodile decided it wasn't worth his time.
Look at the way he turned around. He was like... And turned his back, like, strutting away.
After a few hits with a freshly greased frying pan, the crocodile decided it wasn't worth his time, chucked a U-banger, and off he went to find another pub with better customer service. And that, of course, is the launch of the AU Falcon Series 2. It was a beautiful day in April of 2000.
Oh,
the sun
what a
was
time.
shining, the birds were chirping, and things had only just started to go back to normal after the launch of the Series 1 AU Falcon when... AU Falcon Series 2.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
AU Falcon when... AU Falcon Series
Dude, it is like so 2000s Ford. That's the funny part. This is uniquely Australian, of course, because we did not get this exact car at all here in North America. I don't think at all, at least here in the U.S. And the funny part is, although it's different, it's so like 2000, 1999 era Ford. Like they were all like, I don't know how to describe it, but they all had this like part spin look where it was so Ford, right? Like these headlights, even though they're different shaped than like a Ford Taurus here and, you know, a Ford Focus and all that stuff, it's still somehow so Ford from the era. The door handles, the doors, the mirrors, like everything about it. It's funny because this is kind of like reminds me very loosely of the Ford Taurus we had at the time. But I have to say, of course, this looks much better. And I believe these are actually, you know, rear-wheel drive. So it's a totally different car. And in that case, 10 times cooler because Ford Tauruses were just front-wheel drive at this time. And they were, I mean, let's get real. I've probably shown it on screen at this point. They were horribly ugly. The Ford Tortoise is what it should have been called. It kind of looked like a turtle, but in a bad way.
A good comparison.
I would take one of these.
Thinking of the AU Falcon.
See? Lightning McQueen. I bet you didn't know. Fun fact, Lightning McQueen was actually an AU Falcon.
Series 1 as the Lamborghini Aventador. Then when the Series 2 AU Falcon came around, it was like the Lamborghini Aventador SV.
That's right.
The AU Falcon Series 2 was an absolute game changer with some important improvements like higher quality interior plastics, updated braking system to help stop all that power, cloth interior became standard, chopped springs from factory, but unfortunately they did remove the option of the waterfall front grille. As much as I'd love to talk about the Series 2 AU Falcon for the rest of this video, I'm afraid I can't do so, because that means that I'd be violating this specific YouTube guideline, and that's just not on. Next up in this installment of the greatest moments in Australian history, we have the greatest yarn of all time. It's a story that we've all heard many times before, and that is the Nissan Patrol on the Mooney Mooney Bridge. Unfortunately, the person who recorded this yarn did so on a potato and vertically. So using my extraordinary skill set, I'm going to create my own visual representation of this story. A long time ago on the Mooney Mooney Bridge, there was a race that would go down in history. This race was between a V6 Lamborghini and a turbo diesel, short wheelbase Nissan Patrol.
Really?
It's alleged that the Nissan Patrol managed to pass the Lamborghini at a whopping 370 kilometers per hour. And just like you, when I first heard this, I didn't believe it either. There's no
Excuse me? How?
Way a Nissan Patrol hit 370 k's an hour on the Mooney Mooney Bridge. Because as you know, there's only one car with the right aerodynamics that would allow for those sort of speeds.
The AU Falcon.
Of course, is the AU Falcon. But what he said next would shock the world. He tells the audience that he himself took his own Nissan Patrol to 480 k's an hour on the Mooney Mooney Bridge.
Nah.
You know the Mooney Mooney Bridge? Yeah. 480. 480, mate. The old patrol.
K's an hour.
The old patrol's like this, mate. I'm up on my feet.
On the red light.
Definitely got to take his word for it.
In third gear, his Nissan Patrol was up on its back legs, passing cars doing 150 k's an hour like they were standing still. I haven't found one piece of evidence to convince me that this story isn't true. So according to me, one piece of...
Yeah, arguments for. Trust me, bro. Don't laugh. No proof it didn't happen. Y'all asking for proof. What about the proof that it didn't happen? Yeah, exactly. See, next level thinking right there. Trust me, bro.
Of evidence to convince me that this story isn't true. So according to me, it did happen. The Rabid Ray story.
Yes. Somehow I went all these years looking at Australian stuff, and I didn't see this until literally like, what, 2 weeks ago or something? Or a week ago?
And right here, just like Corey Worthington was on a current affair.
This was hilarious.
The topic in question was dangerous dogs. And when Ray was questioned about his experience with these dangerous dogs, he decided to do an impression of them.
He did a wild impression, and I'm pretty sure his wife was like, oh my God, get me out of here.
That would go down.
What are you doing, bro?
And that's the story of Rabid Ray. Next up, we have my favorite news report of all time. A few years ago, a 7-Eleven was getting when this guy Nick came in for his daily coffee and saved the day. Unfortunately, there was no one there on the day to film Nick as his heroic actions took place. But luckily for us, when Channel 9 decided to cover this story, the hero himself was there to do an accurate reenactment of how things went down on that fateful day. This Oscar-worthy performance has many significant moments. Moments such as this.
Tackle. That's it. Hang on.
And this. Just gotta show how dramatic this whole ordeal was. And rumour has it, the cook in question who caused this whole fiasco was our mate from the last episode. Now to finish this
Get that guy on a stage, right? Look at that reenactment.
video, we're gonna get into the greatest moment in cycling history. And that is the Mad Dog freeway underpass incident.
Mad Dog, you mad!
What makes this moment so great is the fact that he's riding his push bike down the emergency lane on a freeway, and this
Damn, how fast is he going? What is he doing on the freeway?
exchange between him and the cameraman will go down in history as one of the greatest verbal interactions of all time. And
I do imagine that's gotta be legendary. The verbal interactions you see between two people disagreeing when it takes place in Australia is so next level entertaining and creative. Boy, oh boy, do you think you learned, do you think you know the English language until you hear two Australians arguing? It is beautiful. It's colorful, and you will hear things that you never have ever thought of in your life.
high note, it's time to end. If you enjoyed
I
this
can't
video,
lie.
make sure
That was awesome. Oh my God. I have some stuff I have to follow up on too. It looks like surprisingly, and I'm glad, right? I wouldn't want to see stuff I've already seen. Surprisingly amount of stuff that I have not had the pleasure of being exposed to. But that is awesome. Yeah, Mr. Yorak. Awesome video. I cannot wait to see the comments on this one. Those are the greatest moments in Australian history. Part 2, apparently. Part 1, I'll have to check out. I'd say those were pretty damn awesome from what we saw. And there were some parts missing there. So use the link down there. Make sure to check out his whole video. And then, obviously, definitely browse his stuff. Get him to 100K. Do you agree with these? Are these some of the greatest moments in Australian history? Or are there others that you feel should have been part of the list? You got to let me know. A couple things for sure. Australian history, great moments, that kind of thing are just always entertaining and always keen to, well, make me laugh. I can always guarantee that. And also, I think I need to import an AU Falcon. Thoughts? How much do I got to fork out for one of those? I appreciate you watching. That's going to be it for this one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.